Every time we see a celebrity in WWE, we always think that it's probably going to be a bathroom break. We roll our eyes, we don't really care about it much. But recently, TKO has made it a mission to involve celebrities in their main event stories, like Trevor Scott last year with John Cena winning his record breaking 17th World Championship. And this year, we have the focus of Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, his Jelly Roll, and Pat McAfee.
Oh man, you're just ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it.
Look, I don't have a problem with celebrities in wrestling. It's just when you put them in the spots that they are not supposed to be. I feel like they are supposed to be either in the mid card or the undercard. Something like a Sexy Red at NXT Stand and Deliver, where she was basically the host of the show, right? Or something like Lil Yachty, where he's kind of like the manager and he kind of adds a little bit something. Doesn't he doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything with the story or whatever. He's just an add-on. That's what they should be. They shouldn't be the main piece of the whole story because that does not make sense at all. The celebrities are basically there to put eyes on the product, more eyes on the product, to kind of raise the stakes a little bit, but not in the main event feuds, obviously, because they're not supposed to be the main part of the story. But speaking about raising the stakes, NXT Stand and Deliver is where they raise their stakes. And I'm here to kind of do a little bit of a quick review on that because I like to talk about wrestling and I did watch Stand and Deliver. The show did start with a triple threat between Lola Vice, Kendall Gray, and JC Jane. I really, really enjoyed this match. Kendall Gray has a bright future. One thing about NXT, especially their women's division, I feel like those women have a bright future compared to the men. I could pick out maybe like four women, or even just all of them, that I could be like, yeah, these people either have a future on the main roster where they can be huge stars. One, JC Jane. I feel like this woman has come a long way from being in a stable with Mandy Rose. She has completely taken that division by storm. She was the champion. Obviously, she just lost it now to Lola Vice, but she carried that division. She added a lot more stakes, and I'm excited to see her on the main roster. Lola Vice has also come a long way from being like an MMA lady, fighter, to being a very, very well accomplished WWE superstar that can fit in NXT, Triple A, or on the main roster. She is that good. Also, she's very technically good. But the person that I think has a really, really, really good future is Kendall Gray. For the amount of time that she has been in development, from winning Evolve, from being in Evolve, now in NXT, challenging for the Women's Championship in basically their Wrestlemania and Stand and Deliver. She is phenomenal. She is. If I could put a male equivalent to Kendall Gray, it's Kurt Angle. Like I could even see the mannerisms and like the way that she wrestles, technicality. She's great. Like she's got the fundamentals. If you just brush up a little bit and you give her a bit more character, I feel like she will go very, very far. I could see her having main event matches at WrestleMania. That's how good she is. But yeah, that match very, very technically sound, very good. And Lola Vice is your new NXT Women's Champion. And then we moved on to, I think it was the tag team match between Los Americanos and the Vanity Project. Vanity Project I like a lot. I think that that is a very, very solid stable. Um, I think they're one of my favorite stables from this like current generation of NXT. They're giving me a little bit of Undisputed Era and um, Agent Christian just mixed together. Obviously they need to brush it up a little bit because they are very new, but I like them. I like their character, their style, how they work in NXT, and I think they could get a lot better. Um, Speaking of the match, they were hooping, absolutely hooping in this match. If there is one match that you should watch, is one of those. I think you should just watch the whole pay per view because I think it's one of the best WWE pay per views, like whole company. like one of the best ones. And then we had Johnny Gargano and Miles Bourne. Obviously, this was to show Miles Bourne and give him something tangible to show that he is an actual threat, but also to kind of build up Johnny Gargano as one of the stars of, like just one of the stars on NXT and for his character. I do think that Johnny Gargano will probably win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. um, I think they've lit a fire under him based on this match, because this was supposed to kind of build him up because he was like down and out and all of that stuff. So hopefully, if they don't drop the ball with him and they just make him like lose again, I think it would be time to kind of build him up, because he is that kind. He is like a technically sound wrestler. I don't think he should go to AEW because I don't think there's any space for him. But I do think that he would be very, very good in that mid card division on SmackDown. Next, we had Blake Monroe versus Tatum Paxley. Like I said, the women's division in NXT is so deep and so stacked that Blake Monroe and Tatum Paxley also had a great match for the North American Championship. Those two also very technically sound, very just good in the ring. Blake Monroe was someone that I thought was just going to go straight to the main roster, but she stayed in NXT to kind of work on her craft and her character, and she will be very good on the main roster. I have no like worries about her. Same thing with Tatum Paxley. I think she would also just fit in the main roster like a glove. And then we go on to Sol Ruka versus Zarya. That is another one that we need to talk about. In terms of Sol Ruka versus Zarya, this was the best story coming into the whole pay per view because of the buildup of their friendship. I can akin this or just compare this to Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly, how they were friends or they were in a stable, but they were friends and they kind of got split apart. And I feel like this isn't the last match between the two of them. The two of them have very, very great chemistry. Both of them will be very solid on the main roster. Sol Ruka's already made appearances on the main roster. Same with Zarya. But I think Zarya might stay a little bit longer. But I think this feud is going to continue. I think this is the first of three matches that they're going to have. I think they're going to have another match, and then a last stipulation match to kind of close things off between them. But solid match. They have very good chemistry. Now we move on to the main event, which was a fatal four-way. Tony D'Angelo, Joe Hendry, Ricky Starks, Ethan Page. Phenomenal match. Everyone was selling. I like the story between Ethan Page and Ricky Starks, where they were kind of a tag team, but eventually they would have to turn on each other. Those two are easily very ready for the main roster. A lot of the people that were on this card are ready to go to the main roster. Same thing with Joe Hendry. I think he would also fit on the main roster. Um, I am really, really happy that Tony D'Angelo did win. In terms of the first like original NXT 2.0 people, he was the only one that hadn't won. I mean, he had won gold before, but the others had moved on without him. He was the last. He is the last one that is remaining from there. So it's great to see him get like his chance to shine without like any stable or anything. Um, and I do think that he will have a solid reign as NXT champion. Um, but yeah, solid match, man. That was just my thoughts on NXT Stand and Deliver. If you do have like time to watch it, go watch it. It is a solid show. It might even be better than WrestleMania. I don't know. With the booking that WrestleMania is getting, I would not be surprised if this is better. But yeah, guys, that is just me just having a bit of thoughts on like the whole thing that happened on SmackDown. Me speaking on NXT. I will be back with a bit more streams and videos on the lead to WrestleMania because we have to get the work going. But yeah, you guys please consider like, sharing, subscribing.